Do it. You're not wearing it the whole show. You're not wearing it the whole show.
I'm not doing shit. I'm not fucking dancing.
Where's the voice?
This voice.
Let's go. Welcome to... The worst thing about it is it picks up my voice. So people talking to you get reverbed back. That's a pretty cool mask, though.
It's a helmet, mate.
Oh, it's a helmet. It's full on. It goes all the way around. I never liked Kylo Ren's voice, though. It was well over the top. I don't mean to trigger you. A trigger warning. Trigger warning. I don't mean to trigger you.
Why don't you just fuck off, yeah?
Yeah, just saying. I'm just saying. Like, his voice was a little bit much. A little bit much. It was.
Perfect.
You thought Bane was over the top.
No, I didn't.
You thought Bane was too much.
Bane was good. Kylo Ren was good.
Oh, I love the
You,
Bane
sir,
one. I was okay
shouldn't
with the
have an
Bane
opinion. Get out. Got me bling out.
Welcome to the PG show. Thank you for tuning in with us on a Saturday. For those of you who are missing it, because I told you there was no show tonight, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I genuinely am. I even said in the drama time, well, there's no web show tomorrow. I'll see you later. Blonde moment. Totally fucked it. And I text you saying, we've got a web show tomorrow. And you were like, yeah, I know. Totally. Anyway, I cried today. I cried in the last hour. Just before you got here.
Why?
Fucking Disney did me again, man.
Which one?
Fuck everybody who works at Disney Pixar.
Which Disney film?
Inside Out.
I didn't cry Inside Out.
Did it not get you?
Which part?
When she's going through the maturity and all the emotions mixed together, and she forgets her fucking imaginary friend and all that, and her childhood disappears. She literally forgets and gives up at all her childhood. And I was sat there, I was like, my kids are going to forget about all the cool shit that I do right now and all this stuff. And I was like, motherfucker.
No, they won't know,
it
mate.
Wasn't a weep.
You're in a digital age. All that
It
shit
wasn't
is
a
canned.
weep. They won't remember, though. You can't remember your childhood.
Of course I
Can't remember. I did loads of cool shit with my kids. They won't give a fuck in the future.
They don't give a fuck now,
They're going
mate.
to turn into sweaty, hanging, dirty people who like comment on YouTube with Twitch emotes where they don't exist. They type Kappa out. He's going to turn into one of them. He's going to turn into one of them, and it just fucking smacked me. It was like,
the Kappa spam.
oh yeah. I mean, it works on Twitch. You can do the Kappa, but I saw a video the other day where the the YouTube comments was entirely Twitch emotes, but not on Twitch. Just typing them out, like as the reply.
You get that on Twitch as well.
Well, they
That's
work
been
on
going around
Twitch.
for a long time.
They work on Twitch. It makes sense on Twitch. It makes total sense
No,
on
I mean
Twitch.
actually typing them out like with something in there to show that it's typed out.
No, typing them as if they were putting the emote in.
No, I know. I'm saying people do that on Twitch, but purposely put something.
Oh,
on
like
it as well.
Sanctions is doing.
Yeah.
Busted. But my kids will be there one day. They'll be sweaty, hanging, microtransaction accepting motherfuckers, DLC loving, smart asses.
EA employees.
Yeah, EA fans, Battlefront playing. Look at all these evil insults I could lay at a kid now.
Call of
You
Duty
fucking
representative.
microtransaction, in-store app, motherfucking Battlefront playing piece of shit. That's what you'll be.
Episode of a game segment releasing.
FIFA buying, COD smoking, motherfucker.
Dick sucking.
Yeah, all these insults is what we're going to throw at my kids all day, every day. And I'll fucking hate it. And it was like, you'll forget all this cool shit that I did with you when you were a kid. When I took you to see fucking Wales. Do you remember that? No, Dad, I don't remember. That's because you're a dick, son. I'll backhand him when he asked me if he can like buy souls in Dark Souls with microtransactions. That was a thing. That was a thing. Motherfuckers. CEO. Yeah, I fucking cry. I fucking hate Disney. Arseholes. I thought this would be a fun film to watch with the kids. Chill down on the couch, have my son on me. He got a little bit scared because there's a big clown in it. Yeah? But guess what? I did a bad parenting thing today. I know we're going to talk about why in a minute. But I did the worst parenting thing I've done so far. My kid's really into monsters. My older son. But that's only 2. So he's really into monsters and robots. So what did I stick on?
Monsters versus robots. Oh, Pacific Rim.
I did stick Pacific Rim on.
That's fucking parenting.
My son thought Pacific Rim was the fucking shit. He was well into it until he outplayed me like a dick again when his mum came in and said, "It's It's not scaring you, is it? And he was like, no, this is well good. Big robots. And then she walked out of the room and he thought, oh shit, I could have got some attention from Mum then. He went, Mummy, Mummy. And ran to her like, Mummy, monster. I was like, you fucking liar.
Do you know
you
what I
fucking liar.
I got a bollocking today.
We're bad parents, aren't we?
For being a bad parent. And it was being bad parenting.
I'm not a bad parent.
It's
I'm
like
not.
an onion, though. It's multiple levels of bad parenting in one bad parenting act. Basically, Suzanne was upstairs doing the ironing.
Yeah.
I was downstairs giving Thea a bottle.
Played.
So I thought, oh, I'll watch a film that's not really for children.
Yeah, because she's a baby.
Exactly. Ava's upstairs watching her iPad with Suzanne. So I put a film on that's not really for kids.
It wasn't porn, let's be clear.
It wasn't porn.
It wasn't porn.
It was just it was an R-rated superhero film.
Oh, I watch Avengers with Max all the time. He loves it.
Yeah. Anyway, Ava came downstairs.
Deadpool.
Yeah. I didn't want to say, but yeah, I was watching
Deadpool.
But so Ava comes downstairs and she's playing around. She turns around. She went, "That's Deadpool," and I went, "Yeah, I know." And then I thought to myself, I've got Thea in my hand here. I'd have to really move, take her off the bottle, grab the remote to stop it, to turn it off. And I just thought,
nah.
You know what? I'm not touching this. So I just sat back again. She went, "That's a swear word."
That's a swear,
anyway,
Steady.
as she starts to walk out the room, I stopped her at the door. And I went, "Don't tell your mum you just heard a swear word, Sally." Yeah, Suzanne came down. But she was just like, she told me you're watching Deadpool. But she said it with a smile. I was like...
Yeah, I watched loads of horror films when I was feeding the baby. I watched loads of gruesome horror shit. Fucking all sorts. Paris Hilton's head flying everywhere. I just had it on repeat.
I remember the first, not so much scary film, but the first like R-rated film that I saw as a kid, Universal Soldier. At my mate's house on a VHS, and his dad was one of them kind of dads. Not like my dad, he was like buying the numbers. He was one of them dads where, kind of like us, where he's like, fuck it, you're going to learn one day. Put Universal Soldier on.
Yeah, that was my brother.
Right.
My brother showed me Predator, Terminator, all sorts of shit when I was about 7.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
My brother, I'm going to drop him right in it now, but it was a long time ago, so I think we're past the statute. But when I was 11, my brother smoked a lot of weed. So my brother, I didn't understand weed, probably younger than that, maybe 9. So I was always curious as to what he was doing.
Pass me that!
I was always like, what is he doing? Because I was like, I understood what cigarettes were. So I was like, why are you making your own cigarettes? That seems really stupid to me. Just buy cigarettes. And he was like, oh, right. And then he was like, probably really stoned at the time. And he's a brother. So he was like, do you want to try it? And not the spliff, to make it for him. And he totally had me doing that. At like 9 years old, he was teaching me how to roll it, so he didn't have to bother while stoned.
That's mint.
Yeah, my dad found out, wasn't impressed.
Ooh,
yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad. He never did it again. He never did it again. But yeah, it was fucking good times. Anyway, reminiscing there, having that chit chat. We have a couple of things coming up. Then we're going to talk a little bit about WoW stuff. And interesting at the time going on right now. We're going to talk about that. Conversation we had on last week's drama show, which did not make it to YouTube, which is a hell of a thing.
What did we talk about?
You weren't here, unfortunately.
Oh, right, that drama.
Yeah, you weren't here, unfortunately, but we'll get into it in a second. You do know about it, though. It's no weird thing. We've got some legacy stuff to talk about, and we've got the mythic, every mythic set.
Is it every mythic?
This is every armor set official for every class.
Keep going.
No, yeah. That's why I don't want to spoil it, because we're going to take a look at those. I had plenty of tweets about it, and I can't remember who else. Let's give him a shout out, because he was on the case. Rick was like, web show tonight. Here's a link to all the mythic sets. Just saying. Just saying. So Rick was on the case, so big shouts out to Rick, who fucking sorted that out for us. And then we got a drama story involving some... Yeah, it's a whole RP thing. It should be good time. So we got all that coming up. We also went to see, just to announce then, we might as well say it now, but we went to see Batman vs Superman, midnight release, and we're going to do an audio thing after this to discuss our thoughts on it, because it's very soon for the spoilerific web show type broadcast. So we'll release it as a SoundCloud, and you'll be able to get it there. So it's going to be fine.
Dead behind the eyes.
Dead to the soul.
Do you know what I need? If I pause long enough, someone will make one of them videos where you like zoom into my face. You carry on speaking, but then put like Total Eclipse of the Heart on in the background or something.
No. It was the Flash. That's all I'm gonna say, and it'll just reinforce that face. There is things to spoil in that movie. Fucking hell, what an adventure! But still, it was quite fun going to the midnight release, though. It was rammed. People were bladdered.
Yeah, no, it was just one.
He was real. Yeah,
wanker.
There's always gonna be a
in the
super
front
wanker.
of the queue. So glad he weren't in our fucking screen. I just looked at him thinking, why hasn't someone removed this sack of shit?
I thought that, but they gave him 5 beers.
Yeah, I saw.
He
that.
was fucking obviously bladdered and a dick and under high. And then they sold him 5 beers, and I was like, and then he walked off on his own because he was with a group of people. So I thought, well, he's getting beers for everybody. Just grabbed them all and walked off and left everyone else to order their own shit. I was like, that's fucking what a dick. And in no way did I want to be in that guy's screen, but luckily we weren't, which is pretty awesome. So all good. So that's going to be coming out. I might even be able to release it tonight, depending on how it goes. But it is going to be like mega spoilerific. But we did go and see it. We've experienced it together as a team. I sucked a hot dog for a camera pic, and then realised, this is still on my Twitter, I didn't know, I saw the pic.
The guy behind was
the guy behind us, who did not have a face of, that's funny.
No, he had a face of, I'm intrigued.
He was into it a little bit. We're not going to bring up the picture here, that was cool. I always do like doing the pictures while we're there. Where's you?
Well, you've got these notifications of people from you, so click on me.
I'm clicking on you, I'm doing it.
Do it. I saw the fucking bat pod in Ashton today as well.
The bat pod?
You know, from The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the last decent film of Batman in. That comes out of the Batmobile, the bat pod, that was in Ashton.
Let me
Look at that.
Oh, we got some lag
You've
here.
just fucked.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, we're frozen and
Stop
shit.
it. Stop clicking buttons.
No.
It'll rectify itself.
Come on. This is one of the most powerful commercial PCs you can buy. You got this. I think we're dead.
We're dead in the water. Control-Alt-Delete. Control-Alt-Delete. Oh, there you go. That's it. You fear the computer.
I did fear the computer a little bit.
That's right. Promote me. That's at Bauer Prime.
That's at Bauer Prime.
There's the bat pod.
Yeah. Look at this guy.
Right click it. Come here. Watch this. There you go. That guy is into it.
He was fucking loving it, wasn't he?
There we go.
Do you like the way I got the sauce around the lips?
I like it, mate. I just imagine you like humming or just going, oh.
And I've got to admit, though, I've ever had a cinema hot dog. That was awesome.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was so good. It was absolutely fantastic. I fucking loved it. It was well nice. And you had a little bite of my dog.
I did.
You had a little doggy bite.
Raw dogging.
Raw dogging. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Yeah, Photoshop it. Yeah, go ahead. Have fun. I don't mind. I never mind. Go for it. Enjoy yourselves. Incoming shop. Yeah, definitely. It was well good. And the bat pod. The bat pod's from... Oh!
Yeah.
That's from Nolan.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the Nolan bat pod.
That's what I said.
I wasn't listening to you.
Dick.
That's cool.
I know it is.
How low is it? I mean, it's shorter than Ava.
Very low.
Ah, she's transmogged though.
Yeah, but you
got outplayed.
Mate, no, I didn't. Those were well shit, and they were paper. Fuck you. Batman don't wear a paper mask. You know what? I'd slap the parents if I had time.
It's so small. Yeah. It's so small. Is it like an official one or just a replica?
Well, it's I don't know. They had about 6 of them, didn't they? No, they had 3. Sorry, but they actually do move. Like obviously fully working engines. They haven't had fully working turrets and shit.
Yeah. All onboard machine gun fire to be used on people. Yeah. Motherfucker! Goddamn piece of shit. Fucking movie. It's anyway, before we get too serious though, let's keep rolling. Let's do the transmogs now, I think. That should be pretty good. Let's do that then. So let's take a look at the max. Yeah. Ba-dong! Boom! The official DK!
That's really good.
How fucking cool is that?
That's very cool. Let me get a little bit of a lean going on into the mic.
How fucking cool is that?
I like it. Very good.
So good. And it's blue, but it's not like the classic DKs. At all, in any way, shape or form. It's got an appropriately sized dick buckle.
Yeah.
Unlike what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
With dick buckles going a little bit on the outrageous size. I don't like the eyes.
I like the eyes.
I do love the shoulders, though, and hopefully they're breathing frost breath. Must be, right?
Should be.
I mean, they've got to be breathing frost breath, but that looks so good. It looks like plate. That's a +1. We've had so many sets that don't look like they're made of what they're supposed to be made of, which is a fucking tragedy. I love the chest piece as well. It looks really well intricate.
Looks like it goes into the headpiece as well.
Yeah, it does. The headpiece actually, the headpiece isn't over the top. I think what I like about that, it's not over the top.
No, it's just intricate and nice. Not flamboyant like some sort of fucking peacock. Nice Lich King-esque helmet into a good-looking armor set.
Oh, that is cool. I like that. All right, the other Death Knight colour.
Still good.
Still good.
Yeah, I like both sets. I prefer the first. It's not saying that's a shit one, because that's a really cool-looking one. But we're not actually on the screen, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Alright.
I actually don't like the little fuzz, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I think the frost breath will look better.
Yeah.
How many times? Let me put a question to the chat then, and this is for you as well as a transmog hero. How many times have you come across a set where the weaker version was much better than the like hard mode achievable version? Because we've seen that a lot with the artifact weapons, haven't we? Where like sometimes the base one is the best out of the bunch.
Yeah. There's a few of them. The main two that I can think of is there was a couple of Dragon Soul LFR sets that were better colour schemes than the than Heroic or Mythic, whatever. And there was one I can't remember. It was another LFR set. It was a Paladin set. It was the first mop raid, and it was
first
white.
mop raid. So that'd be like Terrace on the Springs, Mogshan Vault.
Mogshan Vaults. It was a white, like it's Summit of the Tiger, I think. Those two sets off the top of my head are the two that I like the most. Interesting
point of discussion here, and they're probably too big to be get into at this point. Lots of people are saying that the Dragon Soul LFR gear was better than the raid set.
That's true and false. It's true and false.
It's subjective, we've got to remember that. Yes. But a lot of people are saying that Dragon Soul LFR sets were really good.
They were.
Do you not find that really interesting that the first version of the LFR, when it became super popular, actually, for a lot of people, had the best looking gear in it?
Because he was trying to...
yeah, I mean, talk about giving... You know, when you look back and you rose tint some things, it's like, well, the first LFR wasn't too bad. Was part of that because you thought the gear was actually the best?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Demon Hunter, mate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. You have been hurt before, Blizzard. Who hurt you? Who hurt... Do you know what?
That's cruel.
Yeah, that's horrific. That's some guy who's just literally watched a brand new Zack Snyder film, came out and made a Demon Hunter set.
In depression.
I can feel the pain.
This is going to be all night, isn't it?
Yeah, all night.
This is going to be all night.
I can feel the pain of that man. You poor, poor man. Who hurt you?
He drew it immediately after watching Batman vs Superman. The next coloration then. It's... not buying it. That looks like plate.
Sort of.
It's better than the first one.
I think I can work with it, but it's... I know that I'm a big fan of simplicity in sets, but not like that. I don't like it enough. I think I could probably do something with it.
I could do something with the top end.
I'd probably put existing pieces on that are already in game.
Yeah. Not impressed. The Druid, though.
That is
how fucking
awesome.
cool is that?
Wow.
Thank God for hardcore looking Druid sets. I'm all for the flowery stuff. That's fine.
Thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Val'sharah, mate.
Very nice. Very nice.
I can't say spoiler alert, but
was it a speaking of nightmares segue?
No, it's a mega event that happens in Val'sharah, and when it happens, you're just like,
okay.
But that's cool. I mean,
like
the flowery stuff has been going on for years. This is so much better to get some dark stuff for people who want to be a dark looking druid.
Man.
Yeah, a Moonkin would look badass in that.
Oh yeah.
I would not like being a Tauren though.
I don't know. I won't dismiss it.
Because they'll be huge. I mean, they're huge. What is that, human? Yeah. They'd be huge on a Tauren.
I know they would.
I love that one as well.
I like it. I don't think it's very druidy. But,
no, it's priestly. It's priestly in nature.
Yeah, I think, well, that's just, we're throwing it to the white, aren't we? I still like it. Very, very cool. Very cool. And it stand out as well from the other druid sets, which is nice.
Who would look good in that? What can you be for a druid? Troll? Tauren?
Night elf, mate. Night elf.
I think...
Female night elf.
Yeah, female night elf is going to be the winner there, I think. I think female. What's the other alliance race that can be a druid? I'm going blank.
It's just night elf, isn't it? Oh, wait.
I'm going blank.
Yeah, I think it's just night elf.
Just night elf. Is that why I can't think of one? Because there isn't one.
Probably.
That would make sense. Okay. Hunter then. Very weird. Absolutely does not feel like a hunter. Worgen,
yeah.
Worgen.
Worgen, you're correct.
Yeah, Worgen,
correct. Sorry,
Worgen.
my bad. I don't see where. So far, I've been able to see parts of why the armor's for that class, but for that I can't.
Yeah, I'm not feeling anything about it, honestly.
No, it's a weird colour pick as well.
It's a floppy dick.
It is.
It's uninspired. It's a little on the ugly side.
It's a semi-chub where you've got to push it against the female meat and you've just lost all, like, solidity in it. It doesn't make sense.
No. There's not even any pre-cum on it. There's nothing there. Wow. Mage.
Very arcane. See, stuff like this, I mean, I'm not a fucking lore guy, so I can't say, but when I see, like, greenish effects like that now, Warcraft related, you think fell. So if you look at the raiment, it looks very arcane. But then you've got why is it got some sort of like green mist about it? Is there something coming in? Obviously, Legion.
You've got the flame orbs with the mage.
Yeah.
Which float around.
That's like a dusty type fucking thing.
You know what it is? I've actually just started seeing the blue one below, which I think looks better. Let's go to that.
Let's have a look. See,
that's miles better. That feels good. That feels nice. That doesn't seem to sit well with any of the mage specs. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think it's important that they fit with the mage specs.
Yeah, Kelthers are Kael'thas orbs, but those aren't orbs though, are they?
No, they're not the orbs. They're just the fire thing. But they get the flame orbs in game, is what he means. That one's miles better.
Yeah, the first set with the orbs active, maybe, but I'm not really feeling it that much. It's okay.
I like the shoulders. I could see someone. I'm thinking of like I forget his name now. Who's done them killer mage transmogs for us. You know what I mean? He did like the fire and ice one.
Oh, I remember his name. Fire or flame something. Well, Cinder.
Something Incinder? Was it Incinder maybe?
Yes.
Maybe. Could do something really cool with those, and as well as other transmoggers. But I just know he focuses on some good mage ones, so I'd be like to see what he comes up. Monkeys.
I just like monk armors. I don't know what I fucking hate that headpiece.
What's the spikes about?
That. Let's not gloss over that.
Flare QT. Yeah.
Flare QT. But that's another example of simplicity. But I really like it. The whole rope gimmick all around it, like holding the armor pieces together, rustic.
The spikes I'm not liking.
I get them on things like the shoulders and stuff like that because it could be considered part of an armor, but the headpiece where it's just a hood with spikes on it, you look like Bowser. Yeah? You look like Bowser.
You gotta have pictured it on a Pandaren as well.
Yeah. Let's hope there's enough pixels in that fat belly.
Oh, I'm sure there is. And that recolor's better.
I like both of them. I like the first one for a monk. The first colour for a...
I bet them shoulders have got a shit hot animation on them though.
Yeah.
Because they've done some... I mean, we've seen it in game. They've put in a lot of fluid animations, haven't they? Do you remember we saw it on the Mage stuff? Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff with like a fluid animation, so I wonder if that's going to be a part of it. That'd be really nice. Oh, big dogs.
We've seen this before, but I do like that.
Fuck, it's good.
That is good.
That's going to look awesome.
Do you know what? Human. This is... I mean, look, it's got the... what the hell is it called now? Why can't I bring the bloody name? Sword. What's the sword name?
The Ashbringer.
Yeah, the Ashbringer orbs on the shoulder pieces. It's a very simple looking set, but it looks very fucking Paladin.
It just looks so fucking mean. I mean, it's like a twist on the Judgment. There's no getting away from that.
No.
But that is what they've gone for. But that is fucking fine. And that hood is badass as fuck.
Absolutely.
That hood is so fucking beast. And Paladins should look like fucking Transformers for me. I love it when they look like that. Almost semi-mechanical. I fucking love it. Big, solid, dirty plate. Filthy fucking plate. Yeah? Ease of flap for the butt fucking. Yeah. Into it. That's going to look awesome on a human and male blood elf. I think it might look a bit shitty on a female blood elf, but I could be wrong. I have been wrong before.
You have.
I have been wrong before. Oh, there you go.
I like it. They've definitely, obviously, gone to look like your weapon, these armor sets.
I can't wait for the warrior ones then.
What shit. Oh
my god. I mean, I remember that when we saw this one last time, and god, it's
cool.
so fucking good.
I love that.
I like that they bring their own, like, chapel with them.
Yeah.
For emergencies. It's like the emergency blessing, like, if you need baptism, I got you, bro. I got you. I'll bless that shit. But that looks so good. It's not cloth, by any means.
Well, apart from shoulders down... It sort of is.
It's just cool,
it's very big
though.
at the top, but it just looks cool, you know? It's a bit different. The shoulder set reminds me of because of how out of place huge it was. I think it was the shoulders for the Tier 0 Shaman. Was it Elements?
Oh, with the spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Sort of like that.
It's going
It
back.
just came out of nowhere. But I like it. I need a burp. Sorry.
There's something really ironic about these spikes on the arse. Like, stay away. I'm not for your dinner, friend. Not happening.
Comment them, but it would have stepped inside her. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How do the rogues get that and the demon hunters get shafted?
That is dark and
Isn't it?
ominous. That is very cool.
That could be something that I stop wearing Bloodfang for.
That is one of my favourite rogue sets already. That is so cool.
And it was hard. I mean, I put a Sunwell set together.
Yeah.
But everything looks shit on a female Lark, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's got the Reaper helmet. But,
Oh, why did I not make that connection?
you're wearing the Overwatch hoodie as well, friend.
I'm going to have to play rogue now, aren't I?
Hey, it's good. It's good when it gets all the artifact shit. Even Outlaw Rogue, you know the pirate thing? It's good.
With a gun blast.
Yep, it's good. It is. It needs all that shit. It's shit to start with. It's really bad. Like, hilariously bad.
Really?
But, awful. The worst thing ever. But once you get all the artifact shit, it's one of the few classes when you get all the artifact shit, it's just really good. Yeah,
Nice.
It's so good. It's pretty good.
I love that.
Okay.
Rogue 2. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow, that's good. You know what that looks like? I wonder if they've stolen it from there.
Wait, don't tell me Lord of the Rings now's cool.
No. I'm gonna clue you in and see if the chat gets it as well. I'm gonna put you into the Marvel universe.
You're not putting me in the Marvel universe.
Dark Elves from Thor.
It looks
That
more
face?
like it looks like Lord of the Rings. The fucking
Anything metal looks like
Riders.
them. I'm saying that looks like the Dark Elves specifically.
yeah, the Witch King.
You Witch King.
Shut up, you dickhead. Just because mine was better.
I'm gonna have to bring up a picture. Can you control the mouse and go to the next one? Hold on. Oh, you can't actually.
No bet. What are you gonna put up now?
Wait.
Right, I want you to bring up mine immediately after this.
Cool.
No, bullshit. Bring mine up now. Fuck you. You ain't doing that. LOTR, Witch King.
I was right. You was wrong.
Let's see how many bags of dicks you can eat.
Yeah.
Do you mean yeah?
Alright, we have to show the audience, I suppose. Yeah, Andy thinks it looks like that.
Right, you put yours on now, smug face. And then this is what Commander Cocksniffer thinks it looks like. That's what I thought. Shut up.
I remembered them looking a little different.
I don't.
I don't know why, but I was wrong. I'll take that. I'll take that, Gene. It's cool, though. Can we both agree?
Oh, yeah.
Can we fucking agree? They both look cool. Right, Le Shaman. Oh, let's go deep. Beep, 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 beep.
I'm always a fan of...
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's good.
Elemental shit
I
with Shaman,
fucking hate that your offhand weapon does not match your main hand. Fuck you, Blizz. Seriously.
You can't replicate it, though, can they? You can't replicate it.
I get the reason behind it. I don't
They
care.
can't see it, apparently.
Yeah, they can. They can see it now.
Well, they couldn't see the comparison. You might have just saved yourself a bullet there, mate.
Good. It just fucks me off.
I don't mind it.
Are you okay with that,
Yeah.
really? That they
Yeah.
don't look, they
Especially
don't
with
match?
that set together. Love it.
I would love the fiery one in both hands. Like, obviously, that's the main hand, so that's the Doomhammer. Doombringer. My apologies. And I would love the fiery one in that hand as well. I wish they had a glyph that matches them or something like that.
I'm glad they don't.
You're just fucking being controversial for the sake
I'm
of
not
it.
being controversial. I'm being on the money.
off.
You're being controversial because you want fucking symmetry, you loser.
Symmetry. Oh, thank you. Everyone agrees with me. Thank
No, they don't. You probably got one person agreeing with you.
Anyway,
That's like, shut up,
Fuck
you
off,
dick.
because that's awesome as well.
That is
I don't even
awesome.
care that Frost has nothing to do with Shamans particularly. But still, it looks awesome as fuck.
It does look very cool.
God, that's cool.
I like that.
Well, we could say it's frozen water for resto. Let's go with that. I like that. It's frozen water for restoration. Yeah, that's what it is. But God, it looks good. I wish DKs had that.
Something like that, yeah.
I would love that armor on a DK.
Yeah, more of a frost theme to it. I get you.
I would really love that to be a frost DK set. That would look fucking
Frost
badass as shit. Frost shock. That's about as close as we get. Frost shock and frozen ice. As if I don't know about frost shock. Come on, team. Come
You don't know about frost shock?
Yeah. I've been playing WoW and doing guides on every class for like 3 years. I've heard of frost shock. I know all about it.
Whoa, 3 years. Do you know that you started this before I started this new company that I'm at, which is 5 years?
Maybe.
Must be.
It feels fast though.
But anyway, do you remember
Yes.
fucking vanilla frost shock? with the nuclear bomb video.
I wonder if that bomb's... Yeah, but he had every spell. Every spell on his vow was
shot the frost shock at somebody.
Frost shot pruned. Yeah. Never forget. Wait a minute, but back the fuck up, and can we appreciate this for 2 minutes? Because that's fucking awesome.
That's very
oh my god! Again, that is a set that I could replace my Corruptor set with,
yeah.
which has been my favourite forever. Who's not going to play a Warlock in Legion?
This guy.
Woo! I imagine that if you've been watching my videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course, it looks like fucking Diablo, the headpiece.
Have you seen what Warlock AoE looks like on a Demonology Warlock?
Have you put it in your videos?
Mm-hmm.
Then no.
You're a dick, but it's well good. That's all I'm going to say. It's fucking well good. Yeah, me. Not even fucking surprised. I'm not even fucking surprised. Warlock looks so good right now. Even if destruction doesn't change much, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, because, oh god, that looks good. I would probably change... Is that human female, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it on the undead, but I'd even change to like a female blood elf or something for that. Oh god, that's good.
They're both good.
And the matching scythe. Can I look at that helmet close up? Oh, that's awesome. That is so fucking good. Wow. Love it. Love that fucking arty weapon as well. It's so evil. Get shit on everyone else, pretty much.
Well, where's the Warriors?
Oh, where's the rest? Uh-oh.
You just dick me.
Where's Warriors?
You just sugar dick me.
Oh, honey dicked, big time. Let's see if I can bring it up. Is it just the Warriors we're missing?
I don't know. By the biceps of Arnold, I'm still rolling a lock.
Oh, it's definitely...
That's a DK.
Yeah, it's a DK. Oh, we have seen it.
No, that's fucking mop.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Warriors, not done yet. Okay. Whew!
Warriors pruned.
Next post is probably a dick. Nope, it's somebody who's spent...
World map chips. Some people
How
have too
much
fucking time on their hand.
With the username 2dogsfucking.
Brought to you by the classic and fabled 2dogsfucking.
What is wrong with the internet sometimes?
I like it, mate.
I decided on the username 2dogsfucking, and with that creativity...
It's a talk point in itself. That guy has already got people talking about him. Yeah? 2dogsfucking, I salute you, sir. I see what you did there.
If you can see the Warrior Tier 19, please tweet me the link and we'll bring it up. How about that? That would be the ideal situation for us right now, so I'll just make sure the tweet...
Someone's commenting. Sri Lanka is on point.
Sri Lanka is clearly on point. Unlike Batman vs. Superman. Bringing it back. Okay, I want to ask some questions to the audience and I want to gauge Andy's response. Now,
hit me!
Let me bring the mic.
Lean.
Yeah, get that mic nice and close. I want to get easy.
I don't want to look at the camera, you know. I want to be a bit fucking edgy.
Let's ask the question. Let's get down to it. How easy should it be to play a World of Warcraft character? Give me some reasonable things to think about.
I think you should ramp, you know? I think you should ramp. We're talking, you know, from someone who's never played the game to someone who's probably making their 20th vault. I think the game should ramp. I think the game has been around long enough now for it to be established in terms of the ramp not be very gentle. It should just be a fucking straight incline, you know? Maybe not a ramp, maybe just a fucking hill. But I think that level of difficulty should obviously escalate the higher up you get.
There is a very vocal, I'm not saying majority, not using that word, majority. What I'm saying is a very vocal amount of people who are making a big stink that...
If you dare say that World of Warcraft's too hard, I'm fucking done already.
I think we're past that now, unfortunately. We are past that now.
How?
Let's not get there yet. Who are very, very clearly advocating, and in some ways, getting their way. This is why it's a discussion here. This isn't picking on certain people. This is a discussion because it's very clear that a lot of people are getting this their way. Who believe...
Flying.
Who have bought into a tagline that has been released by Blizzard in one form or another, not so many words, that WoW's design going into Legion should change. And that change should be that your class is very, very, very simple to allow you, or the average player, to deal with raid mechanics easier, therefore increasing the success rate of harder difficulty PvE. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
That's what the selling marketing point is.
Okay.
Let's simplify things down for players. Thereby, and this is their tagline, which is bullshit, we can increase the difficulty of raids in terms of stuff that's going on without overwhelming the player.
Bullshit.
Why? Why is that a bullshit thing to say?
Making a class easier to play is no direct correlation to making a raid harder because of it.
They're two separate elements.
That's two massively separate elements.
I would also make the argument that I think is very common sense, is that raid mechanics have been very difficult for a while if you engaged in the hard content.
Exactly.
That's always been a thing, and I can't see them being much more difficult than what they have been since beginning, pretty much.
So on the basis of this conversation, is something happening about this?
Yes, the simplification. Legion started, and there's actually a lot of evidence on my channel for this. If you watch the first couple of videos I did on Legion, the first thing I noticed was, what the fuck has happened here?
Pruning.
Not just pruning, but the deliberate removal of the potential skill ceiling for playing a spec. Physical limitations that were enforced on specs, so they could not physically be played really better by the player in a significant way.
So they're basically ceiling capping.
Yeah, they
skills.
took it down. So where previously, I mean, if you look at Mists of Pandaria,
That's fucking stupid.
Now, but this is kind of interesting, and I want to get into this. Over the last couple of expansions, you might not have realized how much, I should say, the mindset of the players has changed. You might not be aware of that.
Oh yeah, it's not just WoW, but I'm aware.
But the mindset of the general players has done that. Now, part of the way they're achieving this in Legion, and it's the players have fought back. I want to point out a lot of players have fought back against this, and we're starting to see those changes. Is making talents that are inconsequential. Ergo, you pick it, and nothing happens particularly that you can do anything with. You can't do anything with it at all. Okay, do you know what I'm saying, or is it not? So let me explain. Let me be pretty clear on this. I want to be clear on this because it's interesting. Now, I'm not saying I'm siding one way or the other. Let me open
a passive.
Yeah, a passive.
But a non-reactive passive.
Yeah, a passive in and of itself is
like a
not
boost.
a bad thing. That would be an example. Is a crit boost.
They took that out of the game a long time ago, though, right?
Keep that mind in your head. Keep that thought in your head, and to the audience as well.
Okay.
Keep that thought in your head that they took that away a long time ago with
Because it's
good reason.
pointless, boring, and no one wants to spec into it.
Yeah, right. Let me read something. I'm going to do a reading. You ready for this? I'm going to do a fucking reading. I want to do a reading. And I want people to guess. Now, I'm going to tell you something really scary about what I'm about to read you after I read it. I'm going to say something really fucking scary. Ghosty's too quiet. Let me turn you up. Because I can do that now.
Do it, mate.
You're a little bit louder.
Sorry, no, I tend to lean back. It's my fault. I don't want to get too close to the mic.
It's all good. We're working on it.
Yeah, but you females watching, I get too close to get intimate, you know, they'll be fucking gushers.
Right, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's the reading. Look, we tried the talent tree model for 7 years. We think it's fundamentally flawed and unfixable. We know some of you have faith in us that someday we'll eventually replace all of the boring plus 5% crit talents with interesting talents and give you 80 talent points that you can spend wherever. And that the game will still remain relatively balanced and fun. We greatly appreciate your faith, but we fear it's misplaced. It's not a matter of coming up with enough fun mechanics. It's challenging, but ultimately doable. The problem is the extreme number of combinations. When you have such a gigantic matrix, the chances of having unbeatable synergies or combinations of talents that just don't work together is really high. That's not lazy design, that's recognizing how math works. So given that we do not think it is humanly possible to have 40 to 50 fun, interesting, and balanced talents in a tree, the alternative is to continue on with bloated trees that have a ton of inconsequential talents that you have to slog through to get to the fun stuff. A lot of you guys have stuck with us for years, continue to play regularly, and still love World of Warcraft. You are the reason we're still making this game. We think you deserve better, and we think we can do better.
They've just said that they can't do better.
No, they think we do. We think we can do better. But what is this? What am I reading from? This is Ghostcrawler, lead systems designer, going into Mists of Pandaria. This was when we changed from having the talent trees that went all the way down to the bottom, and then you could go into another tree, to the talent system that we know today.
Yeah.
Now, arguments that came from that were we have fewer talent points to spend, which was true, and we have less choice, which he goes into. Now, I'm going to link this in the chat. It's enormous. I really suggest you read it if you're interested in this kind of stuff. What was coming out of this is our reaction as players is that we do not want, ever again, stuff like you just mentioned. 5% crit. He mentions it in the blog post. 5% damage. Plus damage. All this kind of stuff. Why? It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
It is super fucking boring because nothing happens. So Blizzard said, look, we're going to make a new talent system. And everything you get to pick from is going to be interesting and fun and do something. Right? That was what they promised they were trying to work on then. And then we get to today. Right? Then we get to today. Now then, let's look at a couple of things here. I want you to bear in mind that they, at this point in time, this is just a couple of expansions ago, Blizzard was flat out, in this blog, lead systems designer, against the idea of things like plus crit, plus damage, plus all these boring, inconsequential talents that you had to slog through to get somewhere. Flat out against it as poor game design. That was their philosophy at the time. Okay. So, read that to me.
Oh, God. Pyroblast deals an additional 13% damage. Fireball deals 5% more damage. Increased damage of Ignite by 5%. Flame Strike deals 5% more damage. Oh, my God.
What is... And how do you reach the fun stuff?
By going through all this shit. And you can't... Can you select them all?
You will get them all. Now, let's translate what this actually means, because a lot of people will look at this and think, no, that's okay. I'm fine with it. So bear in mind, this artifact weapon is a giant buttfuck to Blizzard's design philosophy of just 2 expansions ago. And if you're a new player, you might understand why some of us, like me, who knew this blog existed, are going, what the fuck is this? This is vanilla as fuck, right? Now, you have to read what this really means. Do you think that when you read this talent, what does that talent do? Oh, that perk.
When you cast Flame Strike, it's
written wrong.
All right. When you cast Flame Strike, it will trigger 1 additional time aftershock. Okay.
Explain what that does to me.
Well, once you cast Flame Strike,
what does it do?
It'll cast Flame Strike again.
So you cast 2 Flame Strikes at one time, right?
One after the other, yeah.
What does that mean for your current Flame Strike before you have that?
That it's doing half the damage.
Yes.
So you have to pick it.
You can't do without it. And you are absolutely balanced against that. Of course, it's obfuscated for some players to read that and go, oh shit, I'm doing 2 Flame Strikes. No, you're not. Your Flame Strike before you get that is half as powerful as it should be. Before you get this, your Pyroblast is 13% weaker than what you are balanced around having. Why? Everybody can get this. And they cannot balance around that idea. This is what Ghostcrawler goes on to say are fully slogging, inconsequential talents that lead to something of interest. This is exactly why some people, including myself, are like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? It's very pointless. You are literally, once you reach cap, or once you start doing in Legion, you will have things like your Pyroblast. And then this is just fire as an example. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. It's a very, very clear thing that when we read this, and because I've been using the word boring a lot, and not necessarily to mean bad. I personally want to put this out there, do not mind this as something to be doing in game as you unlock this through doing anything you want to do. And The crazy thing about the artifact weapons for me is every time you pick stuff up, like you see, I've worked down here to here to here to get this because I thought it was going to be fun. It wasn't, unfortunately. But every time you go to a new one, it gets more expensive. So you can see my next ones are 600 each. Yeah. When I get them, they'll go up in price and also.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I believe on the level 110s, the final one is like 1.4 million artifact power or something. Now the crazy thing about this is, before that blows your mind, is what are you going to pick first? Obviously the things that you really, really need. Are you going to go for, what's this, Big Mouth? Increase the radius of Dragon's Breath by 3 yards. Are you going to get that before you pick up more Pyroblast damage that you do all the time?
No.
No. Which means the most expensive things you're going to pick up in your artifact weapon are the ones you don't want.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a really backward system.
Yeah.
And that's the system they have in place right now. It's going to be a really backward system of how it's going to work. So, just bear that in mind. Now, again, I was saying stuff is boring, and I did a tweet thing about this that some of you read, but I want to make this clear on the web show, is that people have been really confused recently about what I mean about class lists. Now, I've done the Fire Mage purposely, because this is one of the biggest backlash videos I've released over the last couple of weeks. People hated what I had to say about the Fire Mage. And it made me sad, because I put a lot of time into preparing the video for it. And essentially, what they've done, if we look at, like, and we're talking about difficulty and all that kind of stuff, right? Let's pick 4 fundamental spells of a Fire Mage.
Pyroblast, Combustion. I don't know too much about it. Flame.
Fireball,
Fireball
and Infernal Blast, right? And what's the basic mechanic of a Fire Mage? As somebody who probably never played a Fire Mage, am I guessing?
Never ever played.
Never played it. I don't think you'd ever play a Fire Mage. What's the basic mechanic of a Fire Mage? Do you know?
No.
2 crits gets you a free Pyroblast. Crit twice in a row, you'll get a free Pyroblast.
Right, okay.
That's the basic mechanic. Now, I suggested that, 1, this spec has lost a lot of the real fun factor, which it has over a long period of play. A lot of people watch my 20-minute gameplay and were like, looks really fun. I'm like, yeah, it does. And if you watch my artifact video of playing Fire, look at my reaction in that video. I'm blown away. Looks really fun. What I can tell you is after 12 hours, that really starts to wear thin. Because people like the pyro thing, so they've made it so it happens pretty regular. But I then suggested maybe adding some... I said the talent system has some problems in terms of what it does. So let me explain what I meant by that, and maybe you can understand where I'm coming from here. Maybe the audience can get a better idea. Let's look at tier 15. So Pyromaniac, right? Let's read what that does. Casting Pyroblast while Hot Streak is active has a 10% chance to instantly reactivate Hot Streak.
What's Hot Streak?
Hot Streak is the free Pyroblast.
Okay.
So when you get up to the chance to get a free Pyroblast, a 10% chance to instantly reactivate Hot Streak again when you fire it.
That's cool.
Is it?
I like it.
Let's think about what it does. 90% of the time, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
90% of the time, that does nothing. Can you make any decisions, thoughts, change your gameplay whatsoever around something that does not work 90% of the time? Absolutely not. You cannot possibly do that. In fact, the Fire Mage, the way it works, if we look at it, Fire Mage is very much, and people complain that I was saying adding too many spells, right? Watch this. What does the Fire Mage actually do? Let's look. You fire Fireball, and then the game will tell you to press one of your 4 buttons. Here we go. Next one. You ready? It's going to light up. This means press Infernal Blast. That's what this means. It's telling you what to press. Okay. Then you get this one, which says press Pyro. Out of the 4 key elements of a Fire Mage, there are lots of other spells, we can see that. But the 4 core key elements, 2 out of the 4 are told you by the game to press them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2 of them are told. The game lights up like a fucking thing. It's like, you should be pressing this button now. That's what the game is telling you. It's like, you crit, you should press Infernal Blast now. And then you crit again, so it's like, you should press Pyroblast now. That's the game is telling you to do that, right? And that's one of the things that when your talents don't do anything for your gameplay, because 90% of the time it doesn't work. And the way you actually play a Fire Mage, not many of you will know this, but the skill cap for a Fire Mage is essentially press Fireball and Pyroblast at exactly the same time. That means 2 spells hit at the same time. So your spec looks a little like this. Cast Fireball and press them both at the same time. Now, when you play like that, you'll notice that when you watch somebody else play it, it looks like they're constantly Pyroblast spamming, like that, you see? Mm-hmm. I don't know whether or not that's because of that talent or because both my spells crit. I have no idea. In fact, I don't know if that talent works. I couldn't tell you. Because 90% of the time, it doesn't do a damn thing. And the way you play a Fire Mage means this isn't noticeable. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, absolutely.
It's not noticeable. So that would be the definition of an inconsequential talent. I'm sure it is working. I'm sure it is. But I don't know. I would have to go into a combat log to check. I couldn't definitely tell you that that's working. right? So I said, that's boring. It does nothing. So maybe you say, well, there's some other choices, right? Some people like that. Let's look at conflict. Enemies affected by Ignite have a 10% chance again to flare up and deal splash damage to nearby enemies. 90% of the time, that doesn't do a damn thing. And when it does do something, you or I, or anybody watching, couldn't tell. You wouldn't be unable to know that that did anything whatsoever. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You just don't know. It's as simple as that. You have absolutely no idea. And part of that, if you might notice, is your Ignite naturally spreads. I haven't attacked these two targets. I haven't pressed anything on them, but they have Ignite. Which means that splash damage, when you're in an actual combat scenario, you've no idea if it's happened or not, right? You did nothing to change. Nothing changed here from level 1 to level 110 with that talent. Nothing changed. And then we had the last one where your fireball spells deal a critical strike always when the target's with 90% health. So now we can say something like, at least I'll notice that.
Yeah.
That's out of the 3, that's one I can notice it doing something. But I would also put this question to you. Which proportion of health in a boss generally is the quickest to disappear?
That's all. Yeah.
And then for the remaining 90% of that guy's health bar, this spell deactivates and disappears.
So you could basically say for 90% of the time though, that's the same thing. That
doesn't work. 90% of the time, that does nothing, and I can't tell if it does. 90% of the time, that doesn't do anything, I can't tell if it does anything. And then Fireball, yeah, I can tell that works, but the likelihood is I'll get very limited use.
But again, 90% of the time,
it stops working.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's the dead talent. It doesn't, and that one comes completely dead, right? That just dies and disappears. So that's what I said.
Wait.
Well, sorry. What did you want me to say?
I want to talk about the missed opportunity that we mentioned before to each other.
Which one?
Is it one of them's Flame On?
Yeah.
And the other one is wait before you start casting the stuff. Before you do that, right? Just here's the thing, right? What's the other ability that we were talking about? There's Flame On, and then there's the other ability, Combustion. Mm-hmm. Right. Put Combustion on.
It's so good.
Right. This looks amazing. This is just one. Before you do it, really quickly. This is one little picky thing from the side of me, the idiot who just appreciates beautiful things. Where now there's two abilities. There's Combustion and there's Flame On. Now, what do you associate Flame On with?
Okay, it's Fantastic.
Fantastic Four, which is obviously Johnny Storm, covered in fucking fire. Hit Combustion. Right. That looks amazing. That's also Combustion. Mm-hmm. Right? Biggest missed opportunity in the world.
To be fair, Flame On looks pretty good.
Put Flame On. It looks good.
It looks good.
But which one looks like it should be called Flame On?
I agree. And so I got a little angry when I was like, I explained this to people, and I got to point something else out with this one as well. Is that Fire Mages now have inherently nothing you can do about it. You can't tell, you can't. So some people are like, you're getting all those powers because of talents, right? 90% of the time that talent isn't working. It's nothing to do with the talent. The same as Control Burn, which is a 10% chance to do it again. 90% of the time, that's not doing anything. All the Pyroblasts you are seeing are because of how the Mage works, yeah? Mainly because you get this, what's it called? Enhanced Pyrotechnics, which keeps buffing your crits. See, I bet, realistically, if you go and want to see this, I don't know what's causing this. I don't know if it's just the way I'm playing. I don't know if it's anything else. And I was saying, look, that's not that interesting. We could do something about it. Which then led to the idea is it because it's all passives? Is it because they're all passive creature? Is it just a case of making class depth add more spells to the bar? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is complete bullshit. That is not what I'm saying at all. So let me switch accounts to bring this up. Passives, there's nothing wrong with passives. But the point is, talents are the only opportunity you have in World of Warcraft to improve your gameplay and to keep it fresh and interesting, right? This is something that's really, really fucking important because you're going to be spending a lot of time on this spec. A huge amount of time. More time than you could probably realistically say you're going to spend on this spec. And therefore, if it doesn't change at any point whatsoever, it becomes very, very uninteresting. Let's look at a Demonology Warlock. Same tier. Tier 15, I'm not bullying the Fire Mage, saying, well, it's the low beat talents. I'm sure that's an argument from someone. Is, oh, that's the low, the first talents. They don't have to be interesting. Let me check this out then. Shadowy Inspiration. Demonic Empowerment also causes your next Shadow Bolt to be instant. That changes your gameplay. It doesn't add more spells to the bar. Doesn't do anything. And it's guaranteed, it's reliable, I can plan around it. I now have a gameplay element that every time I press Demonic Empowerment, I have a free Shadow Ball instead of casting one. That changes your decision process ever so slightly. Not in a complicated way. Nothing overwhelming there, but it changes it. I can waste that if I'm doing other things, because ordinarily it'd be like, I don't want to cast Shadow Bolt now, I have something else to do. Now I have an instant one. I can do that on the move, I can plan for it. That's all. Passives are absolutely fine, and I like that. Demonic Calling. Shadow Bolt has a 20% chance to cause your next Dreadstalkers to be free. This changes your gameplay again. Dreadstalkers usually cost 2 out of your 5 soul shards. When you look for them being free, that means you can make choices on what you're going to do with your soul shards that you wouldn't ordinarily do if you did not pick up that talent. Still a passive. Didn't add anything else to my bar, but changed the gameplay. And these two changed the gameplay pretty dramatically. And the last one is Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is an extra spell, right? But I can now do something on the move. If I got a heavy movement fight, then I can move and I can cast Shadow Flame, and I get 2 shards for that. Changes the gameplay again. Not in a difficult way. I just have a button to press while I'm moving around. And therefore, you compare this talent tier to what we just saw with the Mage. Yeah. They're night and day in terms of interest, effect, everything. And then from my perspective, for the better. Now then, what was the feedback that we got?
Keep going, I'm just going to take my jacket off.
Yeah. The feedback that we got was that I was being elitist. That this was unfair to casual players, making the specs too hard.
Bollocks.
I quote, as somebody said to me, I don't want to press, realistically, more than 2 buttons every 10 seconds if I can avoid it.
Play a fucking iOS game, you simplistic piece of shit.
That sounds terrifying, right?
That's horrible.
80% downtime while playing the game, and it was upvoted more than you could imagine. And then deleted. I wrote a lot of replies to people in the Fire Mage video, like trying to explain things like, look, this is my perspective after 12 hours of gameplay. This isn't the 20 minutes where I played and was blown away by all the power blasts and like, this is fire and I love it. When I played it for 12 hours, I'm like, yeah, okay, this has kind of lost a lot of its sparkle and shine. There's nothing wrong with the Fire Mage. Nothing wrong with it. Plays fine, super reliable. That's not what I said. I never said it was bad. I just said it used to have this shine. Like, you could picture a Fire Mage going into these power streaks. It's really fun. And I agree that inconsistency is bad, especially when it's tied to Ignite and Combustion. Old Fire Mages will know what I'm talking about. But the fix there is to change Combustion, not change that fun aspect of getting the pyro streaks. I think that can work really well. Really got harsh feedback from a lot of people. You know, you're full of shit, whatever, and all that kind of usual stuff. And then said, look, this is the side-by-side that you can put next to each other and say, do you see what I'm saying now? You have the choice of 3 talents for a Fire Mage there, which are flat against Blizzard's philosophy of 2 years ago, because they're inconsequential, they're not fun, they're not interesting. You could not tell me they were working. Let's put that into perspective. 2 out of 3 of those talents, you physically cannot tell they're even doing their job. You don't know because of how they work. You have no idea whatsoever. And that is like the epitome of inconsequential dullness to me. That's terrible. That's really bad. And then we look at the Demonology Warlock and we see something entirely different. Now, I want to set a challenge to you because I can't find it. That blog post has been erased from the official WoW forums. From what I can tell. And I have looked. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist somewhere, but I knew this blog post existed. Because when I read it, I was like, this is awesome. Because this means every talent should change your gameplay in a little way. Not elitist, not adding loads of fucking buttons to the bars, which some people seem to think I want. I don't want that. I just want to think about what I'm doing. That's all. I think that's a good thing. And it's been deleted. There are links to posts before it and links to posts after it. That one's gone. Now, that could signify a couple of things. One, they simply changed their idea. And I was talking to a guy the other day where we were talking, is this why Ghostcrawler left? Because, is it the players? And I put this to you. He said to me, maybe Ghostcrawler wanted all this stuff, but it wasn't working. Or was it the players refusing to accept this? And they had to change their philosophy. If he believed this is the way the game should be going, which at the time we were all for, well, most of us were for, because this was a really good idea. And then we went, now this is gone from what I can tell. I can't find it anywhere. I found the websites like WoWWiki and WoWhead that say this is the blog post you're looking for. You click it, it's 404 dead link. But I found it on engadget.com, actually had it saved. So, But the question is it because the devs are wrong? And maybe I'm wrong? Potentially?
No.
Or is it the players saying, we want... It seems to be a question of whether or not players are okay with, and it's been relatively cool now to say, I don't want responsibility for my own performance anymore. in WoW. It's a problem for me to be responsible. I would rather, and this is, we're starting to see signs of this, the artifact the legendary gear points in this direction. The talents, like we've just seen, some of them point in that direction, is that the game will decide your performance, pretty much. And that's the way we're going. And that's a big concern for a lot of people, and why a lot of my friends have recently left. My old school friends have all left, are starting to leave the game, because they're like, the game decides whether you did well or not. What am I playing for? Because I could be anybody behind this. And as we just demonstrated there with the Fire Mage, 2 out of the 4 key things you'll be doing in most fights are actually prompted for you to do. The game tells you you should be doing those things now. Make a decision. Now, before I depress everybody, I just want to say something. The players have fought back against this sort of idea. In the very initial incarnation of Legion, it was very prominent that this is what they'd done. They fought back. And now we have things where, like the Demonology Warlock that I'm showing you now, that absolutely do not work that way whatsoever. They do not work that way. The Demonology Warlock, all the way through, it has wonderful, interesting, awesome talents that I was swapping all the time. Were really cool. And, of course, as we all know, the Demonology Warlock looks fucking awesome. So, although we have this, what do you think of this thing?
Holy shit!
You can make it big.
Modoc, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
So, if you're Warlock stacking in a raid,
well, it's about to get so much worse. It's about to get so much worse. Oh, it is.
It's gone.
Yeah, do you want to see what Warlock AoE looks like? Let's get some shit out.
Let's do it.
Let's empower them, and then let's AoE.
That looks creamy.
How good is that?
That's very cool.
Oh, but then it gets really fast, and you can make them all do it all the time, and you can start spawning imps from the fucking... constantly.
Mate, that is well good.
Yep. Demonology Warlock is fucking amazing.
I will say this, just from a visual standpoint, everything that I've... Well...
Oh, let's empower the imps while they're still alive.
Yeah.
Go big, or go home.
Nice. 99% of the things that I've seen, even graphical animation or just ability animations, look so fucking better now.
Yeah, except for Thalkiel.
Oh,
Manary.
Oh,
just the way he's like glued to a specific radius really bugs me. You know, they haven't put it in so he can
like
move.
Like a chase mechanic type, like a pet.
He's like leashed. He's leashed to that particular range.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to like having a radius he can float around in. Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, even the pets can move through you and stuff. See that? Your pets move through you. He can't. He stays at a fixed distance all the time, and it looks really weird. I hope he gets more to flow around. But I just want to leave... do I have a conclusion for the discussion we just had? Not really. I'm more interested in your thoughts on that aspect, and I'm sure a lot of people will go mental at what we just talked about, but I hope I provided examples. Pretty clear there about what my thoughts are.
To someone who's ignorant about mechanical-based discussions in WoW, that made perfect sense to me. Literally, from someone who sat on the fence, who doesn't hate WoW, who will be coming back for Legion, that made perfect sense to me. And not just because you're a mate, because, you know, I'm on the fence with you as well. 50% of the time you're a dick. But that made a perfect discussionable point. Is the fact that, yeah, I do see what you're saying.
I think it's a discussion worth having.
It's scary when you think about it, though.
It's scary that this seems to be becoming more and more popular every day, with the idea of giving up your performance. Now, in drama yesterday, let's just finish on this before we have a quick break. But trust me, as I just said, there are plenty of specs in Legion that do not follow this philosophy. We had a guy, let's look realistically, because it's very hard for me, you, and probably a lot of people here, to get into this mindset of why people would want this. Right? Why do I want, and especially when you consider they're paying monthly for this. Yeah. Why would people want to pay monthly to be a faceless person that it doesn't matter if it's them, it doesn't matter if they're sister, as long as they've got the super basic grasp of what to do, they will get pretty similar results. Why would people want that? And then as we saw in the drama yesterday, guy has one bad experience in his first raid in a pug, decided straight after that, never going to raid again because I had a bad experience with a dickhead in a pug. Now, it's easy for me and you who are, like, you've raided a lot, I've raided massively over the years, and hopefully we've got plenty of people here raiding now, and know that, yeah, it's a fucking pug. That's why we don't pug. I don't pug. Are you fucking crazy? It's full of bastards.
But it shouldn't, anyone who plays an online game, that shouldn't surprise me anymore. I mean, for fuck's sake, you get it in the Division.
Well, that's because we're experienced.
But that's what I
mean.
We
know that, but there's a lot of people who don't know that.
Every kind of randomly generated lobby of players, doesn't matter where it comes from or where it originated, you will get that in every fucking game now. In Final Fantasy, it's penalised. You've still got to be careful about your wording. In I like touch wood again. But it's very penalised when people, because that community is policed, I want to say. But not in an intimidating kind of way. It's just a sort of, well, we just don't want a fucking toxic community.
I think what I'm trying to say is that most of us, especially seasoned online players, know that trying to do something with a random group is a really poor gauge of that experience. Does that make sense? Of what the potential experience you're going to have there. If you are dealing with random players, you are dealing with unknown elements that have no fear of any punishment for anything. And you should hopefully know that that's not a great... You should be going into there knowing this is probably not going to be a great experience. And it's probably also, which we tried to explain a number of times, and one of my big selling points on like my early guides is this is actually a waste of your time.
Yeah.
Because LFR is the most inefficient use of your time in the history of World of Warcraft. It's terrible. If we're gearing up and stuff, it takes ridiculous amounts of time, right? Pugging is slightly less worse, but still worse. But even a normal raiding guild, a reasonably decent normal raiding guild, is far more efficient. They'll raid one night a week and pump out more gear than you could possibly imagine that's actually being sort of given out in a decent manner. But I think I think there's probably more people than we can ever appreciate going into a random group event, having a bad experience, getting that guy, and I'm not saying a kid here, because I'm one of those guys who doesn't believe all the crazy shit we read on the internet is from kids at all. I think it's from adults are equally as fucking dickheads.
Absolutely.
Who's after that one piece of gear and just doesn't give a shit you're there. He needs you to fill out the numbers and he'll treat you appropriately as a fucking peon to get what he needs, and then walk away from that experience saying raid leaders are all dickheads. Right? And that's their full impression, and they never raid again. And that's the crazy scenario I think a lot of people drop into in WoW. I mean, I've fought against that for years, but it's the growing tide is. And the way things are going, what has been really poor, a decent raiding guild, I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but a raid guild that's certainly raided from, say, not Hellfire Citadel, the one before it, Blackrock Foundry, has more than likely cleared Hellfire Citadel by now. Right? And now the game's got no content, and they're in the same boat that, yes, the casual players were in for a long time, that they were angry at raiders for. You have content, true, but we still have no content outside of raiding. We were all equally punished by that. And now in a scenario where they're leaving the game. And I want to put this question out to the audience once more, as we did in Drama yesterday. How many of you have tried a private server for the first time ever during Warlords of Draenor? And that number is astronomically high.
Really?
Astronomically high. Yeah, I'm receiving emails, dozens by the week, of people who are now on private servers because WoD has nothing left and have gone back to vanilla, TBC, Wrath of the Lich King, whatever. And it's the first time, and look at that chat there, WoD has driven people to go to the old school, and it's a very, very weird scenario. I mean, we even read in the drama now, the servers are so overcrowded, and they're making microtransactions, I was told, that these guys are making a lot of money. And as WoD has got worse, they've run more and more events to drag more people into the middle, and it's working. People are going back to there. So I wonder what Blizzard takes from that. As again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I like what I like, and I'll always make videos. And this is why we had a big discussion. Is that for the first time ever after the Legacy video, we saw that the WoW stuff that I made actually had a negative impact on the channel. We didn't lose subscribers, but what it did is we saw an increase in negativity. Like in the form of dislikes and stuff. Beyond the guys who subscribed to dislike, which we actually saw today. I released the Misfit video, and 2 of them grabbed it within like 2 minutes to dislike it very quickly. And everyone pointed it out. But we have like 17 of those guys, which out of a quarter million, I'm alright with. Right, 17 guys who do that. But generally speaking, we've seen more and more people behave that way. And what does Blizzard look at? And this is why I asked myself the question, how in the minority are we now? Are we in the minority or not? How does Blizzard look at people going to vanilla servers? Do they take that message as WoD hasn't got enough content, so people are going for looking more WoW, and that's all it is? Or are they saying perhaps our vision is not correct, and this is people driving away, or whatever it is? I don't have the answers for that question. I don't. But I think it's an interesting question. I hope I've illustrated to the point, like, why people are feeling that way.
Yeah.
Let's have some drama after this. Why not? Yeah. Did someone tweet us the tier 19 warrior? Yeah. Yes, they did. It's elite. Okay, let's look at the warrior tier 19, and then we can go for a drama. How good's that? Opinions, my friend. I can't magnify. Can I do it like that way? Yeah. Oh God, that's boring.
Here's the thing for me, is if that had a bit of flair on the chest, I wouldn't mind it. It would have been a beautifully simple set. Just a bit of flair on the chest, because look at every bit of accoutrement around it. Everything apart from the chest and the legs. The legs, you know, are more forgivable than the chest, but everything around the chest, because the belt's like the base as well, there's just nothing to it.
Yeah, I find that really boring. I mean, some of the warrior sets have been so good recently.
Absolutely. I mean, look at was it the first mythic set in
The other colours are
with
fine.
the spinning razor blades on the fucking shoulders and stuff?
Yeah, a different colour tier could work. I don't think it's been tweeted to us, unfortunately.
It may be unfinished, but you need to hit the ground running with these fucking sets.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? These are ground zero for your visual journey through
Big
Legion.
John. Wait a minute. Do you have a topless picture as your Twitter profile?
Hey, ladies.
Dude, what are you doing?
Show me your cock. But tweet it to him.
A topless Twitter picture? Nailed it.
We should do it.
Well played, Johnny boy.
Mate, you can say stuff like that. You've got the Preaching Ghost channel is a naked picture of me and you sat lying next to each other.
Yeah, but that's not strange. People expect that.
It's a good point.
People expect that.
It is a good point. And we're in public as well.
Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll have some drama. I'm kind of WoW talked out, hence why I was playing Bloodborne and shit. Oh, the move. Let's talk about that before we go. So then I've done all the big points. So if you don't know, let me tell you the story. You might understand why I decided to torment myself with Bloodborne this week. What a fucking game that is. I can't believe how long it's sat on my desk unplayed. We're having to move. We've wanted to move for a while, because this room is really fucking small and awful for us to work in. But we're pretty sure this room that we're in right now is going to be knocked down. I keep looking around, but it's understandable. I mean, it is collapsing. It has been collapsing for a while. They said they're going to fix it, but it might be cheaper to knock it down, which means we have to get the fuck out of here. That does mean it's going to happen pretty fucking quick. We're not had it confirmed that that's happening. In fact, they're not telling us. That's the situation we're in right now, is our landlord isn't telling us what he's going to do.
Can't, mate.
Yeah, it's really grim. They're not telling us. They won't get back to us every time we phone. They won't answer the question, what are you planning to do in the summer? We just had a hint that they're doing something in summer. So the situation is this. We're going to move before we get a letter saying move now, and we have no choices. So there might be some disruption coming up in soonish. Once we find a place, we'll just be out. We're debating. I sent you one. I've been looking at either getting a house and offices, which would make us have sets and stuff. We talked about that in the past. But I sent one to you as the town hall, and you had the same reaction that they did. There's a town hall near where we live, like, but obviously, considering it was built in like the 1800s or whatever, 200 people have been replaced by one PC by this point, so they have loads of empty space, so they're renting them out as offices. And I thought, shit, if it's in the town hall, that's probably pretty safe, to be honest. That'd be awesome, because they've got some really expensive gear. And that'd be fucking well cool. And yeah, we told them. We told them what we do for a job, and they were like, no. And you said that. I looked at you, I was like, dude, look at these offices in the town hall. You're like, they'll never let us in there. They'll never let us in there. And then I told them, and they were like, no.
Told you.
No, you're not doing that in our town hall anyway. So we've looked at some cool places. I showed you one above a Cash for Rags place. So it's one of those places where you take your old clothes, but we can get 2 floors really cheap, which we don't need right now.
That'd be
That's a
well,
lot of
mate. I
space.
could have an entire floor as like my what's the word that I'm looking for? My masturbation temple.
Okay. No.
What do you mean, no?
No masturbation.
It's not weird because it's not in your house.
I can't wait to have a drama set. I want fucking like a fireplace, and a library book, and a pipe, and a big smoking jacket, and one of them leatherback chairs, and a tome that I read the dramas from. And I want it to zoom in like Scrooge at the beginning. You know when like they do the Scrooge movies, it like pans into the guy and he opens the book. And he gives
like,
it some
just
of that.
turn around. Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I want it to be exactly like that. That's my vision for drama time. And our last thing before... So this is the first part of the web show where people tend to drift off. The last thing I want to mention is that closer to summer, around summertime, there'll be details coming later. We'll be inviting people to come to Manchester in the UK. I'm really sorry for people in a different country. There's not much I can do about that. This is where we are. You can understand, right? To be in one of the legacy videos. We'll be doing something that involves a lot of people. So we'll just be inviting you guys down. Who better, right? Pretty much. To come and be a part of that experience. We'll be there. What I'm hoping to do is set a place up where we'll have a live web show type experience at night. Where we can have beers and stuff. So we'll do like a live web show type experience, whatever. And then afterwards we can just get pissed with everybody and just wander around and generally make you not like us ever again. So we'll
that's why I keep the bar low when I'm sat on your show. I keep it low. You raise it high, you know, on your proud glowing white steed. I don't, mate. I drag bitches through the dirt. Yeah? So when they see me, they know what they expect. When they see you, they're like, there's Preach. And when they see how much of a cock gobbler you are.
Yeah. Well, so far, all my real life meets have been really good. So they've been the best experiences I've ever had. I look at the picture and I'm like, yeah, that was really cool. So that will be, I'm just making you aware of it. The details will be coming up when I know them. Okay. That'll be happening. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that event, so I'm just going to pre-warn you. If we can't find a place that's super cheap, hopefully I'll pay for it. There might be a ticket price. It's more a case of making sure we can make it happen. If we can't do that, we'll work something else out. Because some of you might be coming. I already know, because the Patreon guys knew about this a little while ago, is that some of you will be flying in. So we kind of want to make that a good experience for those guys coming in. So we'll try and set something up, even if we just go to a place where we can...
Karaoke night!
Oh, we'll do all things. I'm hoping just to have a going Mario Kart with everyone. It'll be well good. That's my dream. That's my dream, is to get some console set up or something.
Fuck that.
But yeah, something along those lines. Because we need to know how many people are coming, obviously, to get an event. There's no point in me getting like a 100-person event, 10 people turn up. That would be really weird.
But like a karaoke machine. Yeah?
Get
Room full of people and like loads of beers and shit, and then someone busts out More Than a Feeling. You know when you're shit-faced and that song comes on, you're like, oh my god, this is the best song ever. Yeah, a night full of those moments of me singing.
We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen.